Hello and welcome to an Everyday Canines video. In this episode on Running Contacts, we're looking at 90-degree turns. So that's when we're asking our dog to come down the dog walk and do a complete turn to the side to come over this jump here. So as I say, it is a 90-degree turn because the dog has got to go like this, but obviously they've still got to complete their running dog walk. Now I would argue these next two turns I'm going to be showing you in the videos are some of the hardest to teach. Not in the sense to teach them to turn, but to teach them to get their running dog walk. Because what happens is, as the dog learns, oh, she's going to want me to do that, they just go for the most efficient line, which usually means somewhere here or jumping off the side. And we don't want that. We want them to run all the way down and then turn, because we don't want to start losing our running dog walks. Now, as I said in my introductory video on this, you don't see these turns that much in the UK, and you would usually see them, I don't know, maybe I've seen them once or twice in a season. I don't think I saw them any time during 2021, but obviously we haven't had that many shows. And it quite often isn't a jump there, it's sort of like a tunnel maybe or something like that. But they do come up, so we do need to teach them. At the same time, teaching these turns, if we can get the dog to really understand that they've got to run down and turn, then that's a way of proofing our running contacts. But if they can do it on a hard bit, like this, then they should get it on a normal, when they're just going straight. When we're doing this, we can shape it in various ways, but what I do is I get a wing and I put it under my dog walk so that the foot is well out of the way, and I put it there, so effectively I create a guide. So effectively my dog cannot jump off early. This area, I mean, yes, I have had Swift do things like jump off here, but you wouldn't reward that. But what we really want them to understand is to run down and turn, so this way we aren't getting that little corner cutting behaviour that we don't want, which can then back chain into a worse behaviour. So I've got my manners minder out in a position just like I was doing with the loose turns, but it's over there. And I just make sure Swift knows it's over there, so she knows she's got a target. You see it's over there? She knows it's over there. Okay, so I'm just going to start really low. I'll start here so that, and I can use my body if I need to block so she doesn't just jump straight over. Okay, good girl. So I'm just releasing her and getting her to turn. She was like, what are we doing? Good girl. Okay, so that's what we're going to do at this point. Okay, so we're going to move things on a bit quicker with you, Swift, because you have done this. Okay, good girl. So you see we're getting that turn. Now bear in mind, when they're doing this 90-degree turn, they are going to have to collect themselves, because if they just run straight down as they were doing, they're going to end up somewhere over there. So they actually are having to learn to collect themselves. So we watch what she's doing on this end behaviour. She's collecting herself. Okay. Do you see she's putting in extra steps to collect herself to do that? And that's what we want. If they're not collecting themselves, then that's what they're going to start jumping off sides or cutting off. It's not going to be a nice turn. Good girl. Let's come a bit higher. Now obviously Swift has done this. If you were just starting out, you'd spend a lot of time here. Come on, Swift. And then you'd work back. Okay. Nice. Very nice. Now I'm getting that lovely turn. She knows what she's doing. We've got the two things we can do. We're obviously going to put the treat and train the other side of the jump, and we're also going to, so she knows that's not the end of the sequence, if that makes sense. I always want them to think there might be something else after the dog walk, because there's always going to be something else after the dog walk. And what I'm telling her the cue is going to be, unless that's a tunnel or something, the cue is going to be you're turning and I want you to take what's next. Okay, ready? Okay. Nice. So now we're getting that nice behaviour, we want to start introducing a cue. And I'm going to introduce it before I'm doing the full length, because I'm concentrating on this behaviour here. So again, it's going to be, so this is our rai cue. Rai. Nice. And I'm going to be introducing it before I move back to a full dog walk, because I'm really concentrating on this behaviour, get this right, and then we'll add in more difficulty. Good girl, come on then. Right, now as she's doing good, I'm going to shuffle back my jump a little bit. And now we've got to watch, because this might be where she cuts a corner. Rai. Nice. She didn't. Good girl. I'm moving this faster than I would normally, because I would actually take this over a series of sessions. Good girl. But I want to show you what we're doing. Okay, ready? Rai. Nice. Lovely turn. So you're just going to keep moving this back. That's as far as I can get it on this section because I've got the little bottom bit. Swift. But at this point I am opening up a huge section that she could cut a corner if she wants to. So right. And she did cut the corner a little bit there. But it's a little bit of a grey area because that was a beautiful turn and she did get all her feet in, so she didn't actually leap off the side. So this is one of these things you're going to have to judge. Am I okay with that? And I'm okay with that. Swift. But I would obviously watch it. Right. Good girl. And actually that one, it was even deeper, and I would say she actually came all the way down and she was landing here before she actually turned. So try it once more, because it's one of these things that is going to be a little bit of a right. Good girl. Now I can see she is leaping a little bit because it's a turn. She's not putting in that last stride. So I might take this back a fraction, though it's still a nice turn. This is the thing. I might just take it back a fraction. Just wait so I can get a really good position. Right. So you see, when I moved it back, she did put in that little bit of extra stride. The only reason I would be concerned about that leaping is if it started to then filter back into the loose turn, which I don't think it will with her. With her, I don't think that's an issue because of the sort of dog she is. But on another dog, that might be then a reason that you might find they then start to lose the turn completely and they're not running at all. Ready? Right. Yes! Now that was nice because she actually ran down and collected even though I'd moved this back. So this is just it's playing. It's moving this back and forth until the dog understands that I only get the reward if I actually do a beautiful running contact. Good girl. And you can choose, I mean, you might say to yourself, I don't mind if they cut a corner. That's, you might not mind that. If you say, as long as they only cut the corner when I ask for that turn, I'm not bothered, fine. Because you might say that is a good way of getting speed, I'm keeping the speed up. And as I said, these turns are not that common in the UK, so fine. But I like to try and keep as much criteria as possible for my running contacts so I don't lose them at any other point. But those are your 90-degree turns, and obviously, like I said before, I'm usually doing this on the right because that's how we're filming, but obviously you do it on the left as well. Separate sessions, work this one, work that one. How often do I work this turn? Probably not as much as I should because I don't expect to see it that much. But actually it's a nice turn, and if you are focusing on your criteria of your feet, it is a good way of helping to really reinforce the behaviour because the dog is having to think to itself, well, I can't get the reward unless I definitely hit this contact. So that just builds into behaviour that I have to hit this area to get when I do my full running one. Whereas if you allow that leaping behaviour, it might transfer to a leap when you're doing your general running contacts. It depends on the dog. But some dogs really, if they can do it once, even though it's on a turn, then straight back into the run. Yep, I leap now. So that's just one of the things, something to work on and think about. I hope you've enjoyed this Everyday Canines video, and if you have, you might like to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and I hope to see you all again very, very soon.